Hey, welcome to the Marriage 360 podcast. I am Marty Sloan. This is my wife,
Becky Sloan.
Becky.
Yes.
And we have a couple guests that wanted to come on today and talk to us about marriage from a single perspective, looking at dating and life marriage. And our guests today with us are Danielle and Rachel. And so let's get right into it, guys. What do you got? Fire away.
Thank you. Thank you for having us, first of all.
Yep.
Rachel, you want to take it away?
Here. All right, let's start. So, how should a man pursue a woman he is interested in? So this is where Danielle and I, kind of being in the realm of the girls in their 20s and wanting to date and wanting men to pursue them, what can we give them as key points for them to be like, oh, okay, that's something healthy to look for, or for a man to hear this and be like, oh, okay, these are good ways to pursue a woman in a healthy manner. Mm-hmm. What would you guys say?
I'm the only man here, so I guess you're asking me. Well, I haven't pursued a woman for dating purposes in almost 30 years.
Take it back, honey. Take it back.
I still pursue her all the time.
Yeah.
I think a couple of things. First of all, I think you need to be in a space where the people who are pursuing are potential desirable outcome partners. Mm-hmm. So don't be in a space that the riffraff's going to show up and try to ask for your number. But get in a space where you build relationships through organic situations. I think one of the things that's maybe hurting the 20-year-olds today in dating is social media dating and apps, because you're having to process things about people on the front end that don't normally come up till later in relationship. Right. So like political viewpoints, economic viewpoints, historical viewpoints, and all of a sudden, well, they're off the list. And we live by an elimination culture versus an inclusion culture. Now, the truth is, you should eliminate some people, all right? But I think you just need to create a space of where there's openness through relationship, conversation, dialogue. We started dating in a church environment, church group environment, family environments. We dated a lot in the family setting. Mm-hmm. Her parents' house, my parents' house. After church.
Let's fast forward. It's 2025, and we're talking like 1999.
I know. Get your VHS out.
I love it though, because that is what works.
Yeah.
I think it still works.
Yes.
So family setting. So for example, in church setting, I think you find somebody that worships God with all their heart. You want to find a person that you can be around. But I think when you're talking adults, I don't think it's wrong for someone to show initiative both ways. I don't have the approach that, a girl can't call a guy or can't approach a guy. At the same time, I would suggest there should be a balance to that. Yeah. And I think that God designed men to be pursuers. Yeah. Men are designed for pursuit. Women are designed for receptivity to the pursuit. It's a divine design. That's a whole separate conversation. But I think that in that balance, it doesn't hurt to show, hey, what's your name? It doesn't hurt to show some initiative, but also to set the tone of, hey, if you're interested in me, you need to come pursue me. And I would even say they need to talk to your families. Mm-hmm. I would say your parental structure is important for these conversations. And even your church circle of friends is a part of the conversation.
Yep. That was great.
I love that. I think it's a great conversation about like the dating apps too, and just really like letting that organically happen and just letting God's timing kind of.
It's just an elimination culture.
Yes.
But you're out.
It takes you out of that. I'm just kind of standing in line for maybe the wrong thing.
Yeah.
And back in the day, through conversation like he's talking about, you would have learned things about someone. Now, I'm not saying had I been dating in this day and age, I wouldn't be looking back at somebody's social media account and going back as far as I could and, trying to decipher what have they done, who they've been with, that sort of thing. I wouldn't be a stalker, but I'm just saying. But like you said, the downside to that is so much maybe ahead of time when you haven't been able to sit and relate to the person a little bit more on an organic level and kind of get to know them in time. Yeah,
exactly. Then you get a prejudgment. You scroll through some stuff and you're like, no, they're probably all about that, but they could be a great person. So sometimes that doesn't represent us the best.
Yeah,
that's right.
I love that. Thank you.
What else we got?
Okay, so second, it's kind of a two-part question. So how do we prepare for marriage in dating / how long should you date, be in courtship?
That's a good. That is a question that that swirls around a lot.
Yeah.
Our friend group even, we're like, how long would you, like, we love to
Yeah.
like ask that, you know, how long would you date comfortably before you feel like you could marry someone, you know, if you guys are equally yoked. But what do you feel like is a good time frame to maybe meet as friends, you know, introduce, okay, let's officially see each other, and then go into engagement and marriage?
Yeah.
So I think first of all, you got to have a clear awareness of what we think marriage is. What is this? What are you thinking this is? Marriage is not a extended sleepover. This isn't like two friends getting married and go, let's just spend the night together. No, you have to realize what marriage is. There's a great book I think every person should read. It's called The Meaning of Marriage by Tim Keller. And it gives the social structure of marriage and what marriage was used for. We love to watch some of the movies from the King's eras, the 1500s, 1600s, so forth, and even some Bible stuff where they married together families for unity and alliances. A king's son married a king's daughter
Not
for
for love,
alliances.
but just for
for
practical
alliance.
purposes.
So marriage has gone from an environment that united countries to an environment that's all about the individual. And I think one of the pitfalls of modern day marriage is it's more individualistic. Like, what can I get out of this?
Right.
And the truth is, there's great benefits that I've reaped tremendous benefits being married to Becky. And, but we've also put a lot into it. Her and I have both invested significantly in this union. And I would say that neither one of us has done more than the other, just different. She's invested a lot in us. Who we are today has a lot to do with who she is and what she's poured into me as a husband. And so I think you have to have a mindset of what is marriage. As far as timeline,
Yeah, that's kind of individual.
it's going to vary because it's stage of life conversations, it's maturity conversations.
Yeah.
I would say that one of the things that's compressed timelines in dating is social environments and social media. For example, when we dated, we're going to date ourselves again here. We would see each other maybe twice a week, other than church. We had church a couple nights a
Go
week.
out on Friday night.
Friday nights. We were still doing life. I was here, she was there. I had a few pictures of her that I got given to me. A few pictures. Well, nowadays you got a whole social media account. You can see someone's last 15 years.
Well, you can know somebody. You can know somebody really fast in a more expedited way.
Yeah, we've kind of compressed down some of the timelines.
Yeah.
Marriage is not a situation where you go, okay, I think we're ready now.
Right.
Because we've been growing in marriage for 30 years.
Yeah.
So we weren't ready when we got married. We weren't ready as in ready, set,
And
go.
are you ever truly ready?
Yeah.
This is
You just took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you ever really ready for it? Yeah.
It's like before you jump out of an airplane, is the parachute ready? It's ready. Well,
Yeah.
that's not marriage. Marriage is a process of, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I just learned that. Okay. Don't ever say that again. That was a bad idea. You're navigating these moments of relationships. So I think in that journey, you're navigating what is marriage? What is the meaning of it? What's its purpose? Is this just for me? Am I doing this for me? Is this so I can have someone I can rely upon, call upon, have sex with without guilty conscience issues? What is this? Or is it a union of two people with convictions and spiritual connections and believing in the future that want to bond and build a family and live together happily ever after? It does exist. You just have to make the choice.
Yes.
So that's my best answer. As far as timeline, it's going to vary.
Yeah.
I don't think that couples should date lengthy if they're older, especially, or if they've been married before, because
settled in
once you
life.
know a relationship, I do think couples should really steer away from living together and getting married because there's a complete shift. And I do a couples in my office as a pastor that lived together and got married, and everything changes and they can't figure out what happened. Well, they don't realize dynamics shifted drastically when you go from optional relationship to covenant.
Ooh.
And now we've already been bonded physically, emotionally, financially, furniture. That was my couch, your easy chair. And we're now in the same house. And so how do we get out of this? What's going on? So I think the couples that do that have a lot of challenges too. So I would say dating is a get to know somebody.
Yeah.
And as you're older, you should be more mature in asking critical questions.
Yeah.
correct.
I can just tell you, when we got married, I didn't know what question to ask.
Yeah.
I just knew that I just thought if I could spend every day waking up to her, my life would be a whole lot better. And that's about all I knew. And I didn't know how I was going to work it out.
Yeah.
I know we barely survived financially and we made it. But I was like, if I could just see her every morning, my life's going to just be the best it could be.
Amen.
And so here we are 30 years later, and it's still the best it could be.
That was a great.
That was
a great
great.
answer.
That was
That
so
was great.
good.
It's almost like a Hallmark
That was
card.
That was so cute.
Oh, it is awesome. So,
This is a good follow-up to this question.
you know what? I'm going to use this one because this is a good follow up.
Yeah.
You were saying, "Oh, I didn't know that. Maybe I shouldn't say that," or maybe you're kind of learning some things. One of our questions is, was there anything about marriage that you realized when, as time was going on, when you did get married, that was harder than you expected?
Yeah.
Everything. It's a complete
Sharing's hard.
sharing
Like everything now is like ours, So it's like this is
time, calendars, agenda,
Space, yes,
space,
time, resources.
we had one bathroom when we first got married. Who's in there next? I gotta get in there.
You get up early. I'm not getting up early. You shower the night before.
I think but that's the whole point of it. It's a comfortable discomfort, and it's comfortable because of who you're with. It's like being locked in a phone booth sometimes. Like we can get out of here.
wow.
And you just, I think all of it's challenging. I mean, it's not like, oh, this is all perfect all the time and it's all simple and easy. It's work, but it's worth it. I mean,
Yeah.
what is anything of value takes work.
Right.
So I would say we both had to grow. I don't know. You had to live with me. Was that challenging?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was challenging, but I mean, I mean, yeah. But that's, again, it's some of it comes from a selfish nature that we all have of now we're all in this space together. Now I'm not thinking about just myself. I'm thinking about another person. But I mean, it helps you in the end grow into a better person. When you learn to share. Sharing is caring.
There you go.
Share. Be really good at sharing.
You learn it. Next question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you keep the marriage alive after so many years?
Well, I heard this on a podcast years ago on a TED Talk, actually.
Yeah.
It talked about long-term relationships. I've actually shared this in other settings. You have to accept at some point, whatever's going to happen's already happened. The likelihood of us having an experience is just totally blows everything else away. At 30 years and 34 years of together, we dated for 4 years, we got married. The idea that we're going to have this moment in our 50s and 30 years of marriage of, oh my gosh, that just trumps everything to this point. That was the greatest moment of our lifetime. No, we have some new experiences that are great.
Yeah.
We went to the Far East last year, went to Indonesia, and we got to see the same sunrise twice, coming up across Seoul, Korea, and then coming back across the U.S. So, neat experience. Am I going to compare it to something else? No. I've had some great moments. We've had two sons.
We've kissed in front of the Eiffel Tower.
We've kissed in front of the Eiffel Tower.
We've seen the Rocky Mountains.
We've seen the Rocky Mountains. I mean,
Hawaii.
we've been to Hawaii, and we've been a lot of places. So
good.
I think part of the tension is we live in a comparison mindset. How does this compare to that? When the truth is, it doesn't.
Yeah.
That was great. This is great. They can both be great.
Yeah.
Being married at 25 in our 20s was great. Well, we were broke.
Yeah.
Now we got some money, but we're older.
Yeah.
So you're navigating the balancing of acts of life. So,
Yeah.
I think you keep it alive by embracing the moment for what it is
Yeah.
and not looking like, well, this is no good. No, this is good. Even like this conversation, we probably wouldn't have done this 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. And
I would have done it, but she'd be like, you're on your own. So this is
Like,
she's here. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
I would
great.
say you embrace it for what it is.
Exactly. I think that kind of, I saw that question on the list and I was thinking that too, because sometimes I will, as you're saying, live in the moment. It almost answered to something in my head because I think to myself, what if this is so great when we start out for like 10, 20 years? And then what if there's a lull and I start to get insecure in my marriage that it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You're better off to know you're probably going to go through a lull.
That's
you're,
what
you're just going to
yes.
go through more valleys than mountaintops, probably. And that's why.
this is good.
and
I
not-
disagree with
not
I
the
love the
va-
preparation.
Not
Yeah.
the valleys aren't bad. I mean, the valleys aren't bad. There's a lot of good in
There's
the valley.
cool streams in the valleys.
Yeah. Just because I think, like you guys at this stage of your life and thinking marriage and we were at that place at 1.2 and you think it's going to be this, it's got to be this. And if it turns out to be something else, I'm going to be so disappointed. And it's like looking back 30 years later, it's just been almost like one foot in front of the other and a day-to-day process and
Yeah.
just both coming to the table every day and being willing to not quit.
So the only way to know what the marriage will be like in 10 years is if you know what you're going to be like in 10 years, and you don't know the answer to that question.
Yeah.
So why would you hold the marriage at a level that you can't produce yourself?
Right.
When I went from 25 to 35 to 45 to 51 now, I'm not the same guy. If I go back to Marty on day one of marriage, Marty on the honeymoon, and Marty today, I'm a different Marty.
Yeah.
I'm the same physical being, same DNA, but I'm not the same guy. So for me to look at the marriage and go, I expect this predictable outcome when I can't predict my outcome.
Right.
Yeah.
Why would the marriage be?
I mean, I changed career paths. I changed a lot of stuff in the first few months of our marriage.
Yeah.
And we had to embrace some things that we were both like.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
So I think you have to have a deeper sense of what marriage is and what it's not.
And almost appreciate those like lull times together too. And be like, okay, we're together. We've supported each
That's
other.
where you
We've
lean on
been
your
there.
morals. That's
Yeah.
where you lean on being equally yoked.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, you have to have that foundation.
Yeah.
We have that one last
Yes.
question that, Pastor Marty, you spoke at Young Adults one night.
I did.
And it was one of my favorites. I was taking notes like crazy. I was telling Danielle about it because she missed it that night, but you were giving key points in dating, right? You had some good things, and then you finished up by saying, now I have some, I'm not going to call them red flags, but I have some things that I want to give you guys as tools to just kind of keep your eye on. They weren't like, super deep, but they were things that someone could maybe hear and be like, just food for thought things of things to not look for. So we would like to ask you, what would you consider to be just a couple red flags in courtship and in dating? Maybe even maybe in your faith.
Yeah, I would say toxicity is a huge flag. I mean, someone who's toxic in their relationships, somebody who's a blamer, somebody who everybody else is the problem all the time.
Somebody who isn't truthful.
Somebody who's
Yeah.
dishonest.
Character
I would not tolerate dishonesty in a relationship because that has a breeding ground for a lot of problems. I would avoid people would have strong compulsive addictive behaviors. And not to suggest folks can't be redeemed, restored. I preach that gospel. I believe
Correct,
in that.
Yeah.
But there's a process of restoration from addictions. And so whether it be spending, food, drugs, alcohol, sex, whatever it might be, you don't want to get into a situation where someone's addictive. And I would say even somebody that didn't have real clarity on their faith journey. I'm not suggesting I'd be like totally solid, but because we're all growing, and I don't want to minimize that for your audience who'll be watching this, and many may be on a new faith journey, and we celebrate that.
Yeah.
So all of us start somewhere.
Yeah.
We started in a Christian home, and others have not done that, but you can come to Christ. I would just say make sure there's some consensus on what the faith journey is like.
Yeah.
Because as I mentioned that night, there's three basic things: their faith, their family, their future.
Yeah.
Their faith is central to the governance of the home.
Yeah.
So what keeps us in our marriage governing wise is not my control or my authority, but our mutual submission to God's authority.
Right.
Amen.
I'm not the boss of my house. I'm not her boss. She might be my boss. We could argue that.
Oh,
But the Lord is our boss.
the Lord is the boss.
He's the boss. They're family systems.
Yeah.
They've got to have. You got to know what they are. We did on our podcast earlier talking about in-laws, and I don't want anybody to feel like who has a bad situation they can't ever have hope. You could be the first of many new generations. You can start a new journey for your marriage, your kids, and their kids. So, but their family system. What is it? What am I getting into? Who are your parents? Where are they? Do you know who they are? Have you met them recently? These are important things. And then their future. Marry somebody who has a future with or without you. What it says about my wife.
I loved this.
She has a future without me. I'm glad I'm part of her future. But if something happened to me tomorrow, she's not going to belly up and be unproductive in life. She has
that's
character
so good.
traits, abilities, qualities, and talents that don't hinge on me. My job is to be her cheerleader, root for her, and I do that. But at the end of the day, she don't need me to be successful. We've come together and we're both successful together.
Right.
We've helped each other, but I'm a successful person as who I am in my character, as is she.
Yeah.
Together we're stronger, but we're not codependent in our success.
Yes.
So I think those things are important.
I remember those.
The toxicity is critical.
Yeah.
The integrity part's critical. The faith journey is critical. And I would tell someone this: I don't believe in evangelistic dating
Yes,
No.
you brought that up, and I was like,
That's a huge
this answers that
problem.
question because it comes up at our Bible studies sometimes, like just for fun conversation, what if you met someone who wasn't in their faith? What if they were to come to Christ? And you hear those stories, but it's like,
Give them time to
put-
grow.
Yeah.
Give them time to grow.
Yeah.
And you can watch from distance. Don't watch close up. Watch
Yeah.
from distance.
You can invite them to YA on Thursday night. You can invite
Beautiful.
them to Sunday service.
Yeah.
You can be a
But
friend.
watch
and be
them grow,
supportive,
and you
but
can.
watch them
And I'm
grow.
not saying check the boxes, but you want to give enough space. What you don't want to do is get involved with somebody who, because let me tell you about men, and I'm a man at this table. Men will do anything to get what they want. Okay, men will act the part, play the part, be the
Last
part.
minute conversion.
Yep.
I got victory in
Yep.
Jesus tonight. Can we
Yeah.
go on a date tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, we've seen.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm telling you, and women go, he got saved. I'm like, he ain't no more saved. I mean, he saw your lipstick and he's just. He's
like, I love that for
me.
me.
I feel Jesus all over me right now.
Oh, my.
And I'm like, bro, you got Jesus. You're looking at her. I mean, men are, I'm just telling you.
Bro, you.
Yeah, you need Jesus.
Yeah.
You go to the river, get baptized.
Yeah.
But you have to give them time to
So
prove it
happy
out.
girls.
So, and because I'm telling you this, dating has a negative impact on marriage over time. Excessive dating, close dating, or intimate dating affects marriage.
Right.
And if you don't believe that, then you're foolish in how you see relationships and yourself. You can't give yourself to all kinds of people emotionally, even kissing, holding hands, even casual touching,
Yeah.
and not affect you in the marital relationship. It does. Because we only have so much of us. And so I don't believe at any level it's a smart thing to date somebody for evangelistic purposes.
Yeah.
They can come to Christ
true.
by your witness, not by your kiss. And if they come to Christ by witness, praise God and let them live it out. And you sit and go watch. I'm going to watch. Are you still here 6 months from now? Are you still here a year from now?
That's such a good answer
Yeah.
to that question.
Yeah. That was so good. You just have to watch and see what somebody's going
Yeah.
to do.
I
Wonderful
believe they
for
can.
them.
And
Wonderful.
and I'm for them. But Jesus is their Savior. You're not.
Yes.
And I said to both guys and girls. So don't
Yeah.
do evangelistic dating. Do evangelism,
Yeah.
but not through the dating app.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
not for the love of our lives.
Yeah.
but slowly, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Thank you
There
guys.
you go.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys so
Thank you
much
so
for that.
much.
Those were such amazing answers to those. I was like, oh, yeah. like,
Yeah.
those
The
are
red flags
such
one.
great-
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
you guys.
Thank you
Yes,
so
guys.
much.
Appreciate it. Yes.
welcome.
Yes.